Hi, Bo Huffman here from the Hastings and Kearney GNCs. We want each and every single person to live well each and every day. So whatever your health need, question, or concern, we're here to do just that for you. So whether it's a multivitamin, a fish oil, a calcium, whatever the case may be, we want you to live well each and every day to get the most out of your life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Hub, brought to you by GNC. I am Connor O'Gara. This guy is Nathan Hart. Nathan, we got a loaded show today. We got conference tournaments to recap. We have some X Factors to talk about, and even a Coach's Corner with Kearney Catholic coach Scott Carlin. But before we do any of that, it's 3 stars. It's Riley Reinertson, a guy that is no stranger to this program.
Yeah, surprisingly, he hasn't shown up on our 3 stars just yet, but he had to for his performance against Doniphan Trumbull in the LPC final. 28 points. We'll talk more about the game later, but just an impressive performance that reminds us he's one of the best players in the area.
And Hannah Ostrom of Lexington also had a big game.
A game that fits this 3-star category perfectly. She scores a career-high 30 points. The sophomore did it on 10 for 17 shooting, and she caps it off with the game-winning last-second layup to beat Broken Bow 49-47.
That's not a star. I don't know what is. Sydney Taubenheim of Amherst stepped up. She had a big 23-point game and an FKC consolation game win against Pleasanton. She's kind of the straw that stirs the drink for Amherst. She is obviously a huge part of what they're trying to do, and if they are going to have success in the postseason, it's going to be on Taubenheim's shoulders.
For this week's GNC Muscleman Pick of the Week, we're going to the Heartland Hoops Classic. We're looking at the 5:45 p.m. matchup with Southern Valley and Grand Island Central Catholic. These are 2 teams that haven't been playing at full strength over the course of this season, but they're finally getting a full roster as they'll have this season. Southern Valley 18-2, led by Hunter Quinn, Alex Kopp, Jeremiah Perkins. They're gearing up for another state tournament run. GICC played his last few games without big man Johanna Gaifan, but he's back and he's a difference maker. It's hard to see too many postmen in the area that just have the footwork, the handiwork that he has down low. Southern Valley is going to have a tough test against him. That said, the Eagles do have a very complete team. I think whether or not they can stop Gaifan, they'll be able to come up with a win. It should be close. I've got Southern Valley winning 59-56.
We're going to look at the conference tournaments that we covered last weekend, and first we're going to look at the FKC tournament. And the most impressive thing I saw in the girls tournament was the fact that Overton's supporting cast really came out and played like it should. That team is 12-1 when a player besides Kinsey Enix gets in double figures, and that was the case all weekend for him. Madison Beaver stepped up, Danny Jewett stepped up, and of course Addie Fisher, Abby Miller provided big roles for that team, and really that was what fueled them to a big 28-point victory over Elm Creek. That team is rolling right now. They feel like they're playing their most confident ball of the season. They're going to look to take that momentum into sub-districts and possibly a district final. And on the boys' side, the Elm Creek boys, we've talked about them so much this season, only 2 losses, best start in school history. They get a huge victory over Overton in the FKC final, and they did it because they were able to weather the storm. They weathered the storm in the semifinal game against Amherst. Amherst came back from a 14-point second-half deficit and actually tied it up, and if not for a last-second bucket from Austin Frazier, that game goes into overtime. And then in the final, Overton comes back in the second quarter, and really Elm Creek had none of that. They dominated the second half, cruised to a win, and right now Elm Creek is one of the teams to beat in D1. They're looking to do some big things, and they definitely got a huge program boost with an FKC final win.
In the Lou Platte Conference Tournament, the most impressive thing on the boys' side was easy. It was Riley Reinertson for Gibbon. We talked about his 28 points, but he came up with big plays against Doniphan Trumbull in the final. It was his 3-pointer, a highly contested shot, about 90 seconds left in overtime, that proved to be the game winner. But to get to overtime in the first place, it was a defensive play. He had the block on Lorenzo Williams' 3-point attempt to send that game to overtime. Just a big-time performance by a big-time player. On the girls' side, the most impressive thing was Kearney Catholic's defense. What a special performance from the Stars to win the conference tournament title. They held Ravenna with 1 field goal in the first half, and that field goal came with 55 seconds to go in the second quarter. Kearney Catholic ran away with the game. Ravenna's no slouch. Kearney Catholic just dominated that whole game, 57-17 win. I had a chance to catch up with both coaches after the game to talk about their team's performances.
That's probably our best defensive effort of the year. I mean, the kids did a great job. You know, Ravenna didn't shoot the ball very well, but on the other hand, I like to think that we had something to do with it. I thought we rebounded the ball exceptionally well and didn't give them too many second chance opportunities either.
I'm pretty proud of him, obviously, as a father and a coach. Tonight he was huge. He kind of put us on his back at times and made some great shots. And I thought Gareth Stroh hit some big shots for us as well. But I'm proud of all my guys because I thought our rebounding was really good down the stretch. I thought they hurt us on the boards early in the game, but I thought we really kind of bowed our neck a little bit and got after on the boards in the second half and overtime.
In this week's edition of the Coach's Corner, I had a chance to catch up with Kearney Catholic boys coach Scott Carlin. Team's had an up and down season, but this is the stretch run. He talks about the key to have success in the postseason for the Stars.
I think part of it is just getting our guys' confidence up. We've seemed that we've been hitting a little bit more of a better flow lately. Guys are kind of understanding the rules as they go along a little bit more. And, you know, we're getting healthy for the first time really in a long time. You know, we really talk to the guys that it's anybody who's going to put 3 games together or 4 games together depending on the bunny bracket situation. But it's anybody's ball game, and if we play well, I like our chances.
With postseason being right around the corner, good teams are looking to become great, and to do so, they need their X factors to step up. Now, to be clear, an X factor isn't necessarily the leading scorer or the person that dominates the headlines or anything like that, but a person that can make a good team into a great one if they step up and maximize their potential. And for the first one that we're going to start with, I'm going to look at Tristan Farley of Wilcox-Hildreth, a kid that's 6'2", a sophomore, really developing into his own, but needs to be that assertive scorer for Wilcox-Hildreth to have a good postseason. He's a kid that's their 4th leading scorer right now, but he is capable of doing big things, a lot of potential. Expect to hear a lot more things out of Farley in the future.
Sticking with Wilcox-Hildreth on the girls' side, Riley Jenkins. They've got 2 seniors in Rachel Earhart and Jessica Harms that get their points. But Riley Jenkins is a rebounding machine. She averages over 10 rebounds a game, grabbing 15 to 20% of the team's offensive missed shots. Just an impressive stat line for her. But her point totals really vary from game to game. If she can score 6, 8, 10 points to complement what Earhart and Harms are doing, this team can win 2 games. This team can make a district final.
And somebody else who's kind of had some up and down scoring this year, Laura McInturf of Southern Valley. She's their 2nd leading scorer right now, but she is a 6-foot junior that can take over a game on both sides of the ball. Darren Tobey needs her to be that assertive leader, not only in the post to block shots and to at least adjust shots, but working that high-low offense that they like to run off the elbow so much. Definitely a critical piece for what the Eagles are trying to do this year.
With Kearney Catholic, we're all looking at the Minden-Kearney Catholic potential matchup.
Yeah.
And how are the Stars going to be able to stop the Kissingers? I'm looking at the one thing that Kearney Catholic has going for them is obviously their depth. And we're looking at the backup point guard, Michelle Messbarger. She's going to be coming off the bench, probably tasked with guarding Brooke. But Messbarger is oftentimes instant energy, instant offense, instant defense. Can she provide that while the starters are getting the rest? If she can do that, that's going to be a huge plus for Kearney Catholic if in the potential game against Minden.
Something tells me we're going to be talking about that one once or twice.
I'm sure even next week, yeah. Girls sub-district pairings get released on Thursday. We're going to be breaking them all down. Check it out. We'll have a video to kind of recap who's playing who are the favorites, who are the dark horses to make it out of the sub-districts.
Should be a lot of good stuff to come from us in the coming weeks. Make sure you're following our Sports Hub blog. That's at Sports Hub blog. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at CJ O'Gara, at NMHart. And make sure you're checking up with all of our coverage that we're going to try and provide. It's the postseason pretty shortly. It's fun. We love it. So for the Sports Hub, this has been Conor O'Gara, Nathan Hart. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.